Armata! Пострел!
The battle for Bakhmut began in May last year and hasn't stopped since. Several months later, Russian forces, led by mercenaries from the paramilitary Wagner group, advanced towards the town, once home to 70,000 people. As death and destruction mounted, most of Bakhmut's people fled, leaving behind what one Ukrainian commander recently described as utter hell.
Мабуть, 70% цього міста його майже немає.
70% of the city doesn't exist anymore. Every single house is damaged. A lot of roads are destroyed too. Everywhere you can hear artillery fire, mortar shelling and gun battles too.
A few days ago, some civilians were taken to safety, but despite the horrors they faced, many others, tragically, wouldn't leave.
Each time I tried to persuade them to leave the city, they refused. Many people just didn't want to go. 2 young men did agree to leave, but we came to collect them 30 minutes late. I'm not sure if that was artillery fire, but an explosion hit that building before we arrived. Both guys were killed, all because we were late. Only their grandmother alive. I saw emptiness in her eyes.
Soon after that, it looked like Ukrainian forces were preparing to pull out of Bakhmut, but last night President Zelensky made clear they would fight on. Despite mounting casualties, dwindling ammunition, and being almost surrounded by Russian troops. His decision seems to have widespread backing from Ukrainian forces fighting for the town.
Ukrainian armed forces would be staying in Bakhmut as long as possible. So there is no sign that they would be withdrawn at any point. And I think, moreover, this gives Ukrainian forces in the area a very good chance for counteroffensive. Bakhmut itself became a symbol of Ukrainian resistance like it used to be with Mariupol. And from his perspective, taking control of Bakhmut was some sort of idea fix for Vladimir Putin and his generals. Likewise, for Ukrainian military, Bakhmut is a symbol of Ukrainian resistance, Ukrainian military spirit. And I think from this perspective, Bakhmut would be kept as long as possible, like I said.
But given the extent of the bloody stalemate, why is Ukraine hanging on?
Strategic now in that it offers an opportunity to wear down, exhaust the Russians, take out some of their units. So it's acquired a strategic significance that doesn't bear much relationship to the town itself now, which is largely rubble and depopulated. The Russians probably can least afford to lose it because the Ukrainians have already indicated that they could leave and nothing else much would change in the war. If the Russians can't even take this as at least one prize in what is supposed to be a renewed offensive, then that indicates that they're in real trouble. They need something.
As with nearly all modern wars, civilians suffer the most, along with the volunteers who try to help them.
I think when Ukraine wins, I probably won't be celebrating. I'll be crying. I will cry out all the terrible things I saw, all the tears that I stopped, all the people that we have lost, military, civilians, in Bakhmut and everywhere else.
After such dreadful loss of life and utter destruction in Bakhmut, it'll be hard to call anyone a winner, whoever succeeds in securing this flattened town. But such thoughts seem unlikely to blunt Ukrainians' resolve as they fight on to keep hold of their country.